Thank you so much, Mr. Srini. It's been a pleasure to have you on our campus these past few days. I'm Preeti Aghalayam. I'm a professor at the Department of Chemical Engineering at IIT Madras for several years now, 1.5 decades or so. It's been my pleasure and honor to have been designated as a director in charge of the Zanzibar campus of IIT Madras. As you may know, we were launched last year in October of 2023, and this institution is what is called a cross-border institution. It's an international institution which is a partnership between the governments of India and Zanzibar and IIT Madras. Our mandate is really to, on the one hand be an educational star in the region, but to also bring in the type of academic excellence and research and technology goals that IIT Madras is now well known for to this region, and to expand the footprint of education we can give and make sure that it reaches larger population. It has been a pleasure to be in this beautiful place. You've gone around Zanzibar a little bit, and you know how wonderful the place is and how welcoming the people are. So it's been a very proud set of months for us from IIT Madras to be here.
I've been interacting with students for the last couple of days, and I see very exciting motley and diversity of students from within Africa and also from Indian subcontinent. Could you just share about the philosophy of the philosophy you are espousing in terms of creating the institution? Because the institution, the first few years, the values that this institution imbibes and the character that develops all happens in the first initial years. Being the first director, what kind of institution that you envision if you see yourself, this institution 20 years from down the line, what do you think the shape and the form and the character of the institution will be?
Thank you for this question. As you know, I'm a product of the IITs. I did my undergraduate study at IIT Madras many years ago, of course. And I've been part of IIT Bombay and IIT Madras now for the entirety of my academic career. And there are so many good things that we have done at the IITs. Of course, we were given the mandate of nation building. This is what we were supposed to do when we were founded in the 50s, and while there have been many steps that have been taken, maybe several forward, maybe a few backward, etc., we've learned so much. At IIT Madras, we are constantly on this type of growth path, especially recently, where we've embraced this world of education in a completely unprecedented way. Inclusivity has been a sort of a byword pretty much in our campus now, but it is with the retention of our academic excellence. And the discovery has been that it is possible. It is possible to reach everybody in a community that is aspiring for and deserving of your education, while maintaining the rigorous standards that that you have inside your heart as important values for you. In terms of research goals, in terms of technology development, in terms of socially relevant technologies that are coming out of IIT Madras campus, in terms of student-led innovation, how we are fostering that and cultivating that and ensuring that this generation, which is so smart and so open-minded and has access to so much information, can take the best foot forward in terms of their careers. We're doing all that. So I think we are bringing those rudiments for sure into this campus. So that is not anything new for us. Absolutely high standards of academic rigor and excellence, looking at research and technology with an eye on society and those that deserve our type of innovation and technology in the society, keeping that firm and doing the right thing, so to speak. That is coming from our evolution of our institution itself. Now, if you see what is different, I believe that the type of diversity we are able to access from the get-go is much higher here. obviously, it was one of the things that we've been looking at as being important for our institution. We do have international students. We have several international partnerships. We ourselves, both faculty, research scholars, etc., have a lot of travel back and forth with academic partners across the world. But in a class, having a 50-50 African, Asian kind of mix has not yet been possible in Chennai, and we've immediately had that over here. So I think that can be a focal point beyond the rudiments that come from the main campus of embracing and celebrating this type of diversity. It's not just about, it's an international campus. So from the get-go, it is applications are welcome from across the world, and we are getting it from across Asia, from the continent of Africa also we are attracting applications. But in terms of perspectives and ideas, we want people that are ready to bring their unique perspectives to the table and contribute and enrich the learning that happens for everybody in the classroom. We also have 40% women in our class, and of course in terms of even cultural aspects, there's so much diversity, and we are learning, I think, to live with each other, respect each other innately and absolutely, and embrace each other's and celebrate each other's differences, I think. So we do envision that we will retain the academic excellence. In terms of research and technology, we are going to grow and evolve phenomenally and serve the entire world, and retain the aspects of the sustainable goals, etc., and ensure that those are met. But for the people, we hope that will be about the people a lot, and we'll celebrate the heart of the people a lot, and we'll always have that communication among each other really going strong.
I've met, as you rightly said, the students from diverse countries, the native Africans as well as Indians and students from Nepal, etc. And all of them gave amazing feedback about the faculty, how friendly each one is and how facilitating you are. And also they're talking about how the camaraderie between the learners is really of great value. Irrespective of where they come from, they all are speaking very positive about it. It's a wonderful feeling that I have, though the institution is less than 6 months old now. Going forward, because you're creating the institution, this is the first year, and the second batch is about to come. What is so special that, because you have this mandate of creating this institution, in terms of the character and traits and the kind of approach for life, learning, etc., you would like to see in the youth that are going to walk into the institution, and how are you approaching the process of selecting them so that such kind of youth will walk into this space, brilliant youth walking into the space?
Wonderful. We, of course, again, it began with all the learnings over these decades that we've had at IIT Madras. The faculty team from IIT Madras, a large faculty team from IIT Madras at very senior levels, has been involved in the process of it. I am named as one person to sort of be the, I would say, the face as the head of this institution, but there's so many of my colleagues that are involved in every step of the way we've so far brought this institution and the way we are evolving it and taking it forward. Now, what we are looking for is a set of young people who are absolutely sharp academically, obviously, because you need that to be able to access our type of education. And there are enough numbers of this. There's no dearth of very smart young people, especially the next generation. The type of exposure they have and type of access to resources they have is just phenomenal, and they're really amazing. So of course we are looking for academically very strong, high performing students is for sure. But I think we also want a bunch of students that are, coming at it as a community builder and an innate leader, so to speak, because, it is although it's an IIT Madras campus, it's a new feeling for all of us. We are all new to this. We are in a new country. And I think a sense of adventure is definitely something that will go a long way in a student that is successful in our campus. And you've met with the first batch, and I think they already have, they bring that quality. We also want an entrepreneurial mindset. We are not really in the business of making cogs in the wheel. Every one of our students has so much phenomenal potential, and I hope that they're able to meet that. And one of them is to create and chart their own future path and career. So I think we need somebody that comes in with that entrepreneurial spirit and, does not just come saying, I'm going to write exams and do really well and focus on the marks that I get and so on. So yes, academically gifted, but somebody that is good with people, has a sense of adventure, and is entrepreneurial, and of course I must say absolutely aspirational in the type of dreams and goals that they set for themselves. So that's the type of person we are looking for, and we are confident that we get somebody like that will make all of those things come true for that young person.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about to the students, saying it was not just the faculty and the institution, the batches that is coming, that is now and which is coming, they all need to view themselves as entrepreneurial so that they build the institution, all of you together build the institution. It's amazing.
And their own future, and craft their own future.
Correct, and also their future.
Yeah.
So with this philosophy thoughts you have, what is a kind of process of selection, because that is very critical, the selection process which will bring in people of this character into the institution. So how is it different from the usual, the IIT thing that we all know, at least I knew for the last 50 years of IIT. So what is it that differently we are doing? What is it that we are doing same, and what is that we are adding more to it?
Yeah. As I mentioned, Srini, I'm a product of the IITs, and I did my BTech, but this was a long time ago. This was in 91. And I'll talk a little bit about my own approach to the IIT admission in those days. I'm from an academic family. My dad was a chemistry professor, and of course in his peer group there were people that were really erudite, really academically oriented, and of course there were also professors in math and physics and so on, and biology and so on. So I used to sit with them. That was how I used to be during my school days. Some of it because dad would insist, but sometimes out of my own interest I'd sit with them and learn. And there was no concept in any science or maths that seemed out of reach, and that was because these people would break it down for me. For that 14-15-year-old that I was, they'd break it down for me, and it wasn't even, the focus wasn't even about understanding the concept or solving the problem that, end of the chapter problem that were there, but it was about getting enthused about it. Even at home, my dad would say, let's dismantle this, whatever, torch or light or something that would come. Let's dismantle it and see how, once we break it down, how we put it together. That was more physical, but in terms of problems also, that's sort of what we used to do. Now, I think it's not about me, of course. There is a whole big population out there. And as I said, we have a very strong screening test committee, very senior faculty with a lot of experience at IIT Madras from various disciplines that have come together to craft a special and different exam that is called the IIT Zanzibar screening test. That's what we've crafted, and that is, I think, a balance between, of course, academically in terms of conceptual and subject knowledge what we are looking for, the type of person, hopefully it will bubble up from the test that we are looking for, which is, some nuancedly different, I think, than in other institutions that we have, and is practical to administer. So that is sort of the balance. And so I think last year's paper, I was a center representative, so I didn't see the paper till the day of the test, and it was so interesting to see. There are sample questions on our website which are also really interesting, I think. So I think if you come at it with native intelligence, of course, conceptual fundamental clarity of high school level math and science, and thirst and an urge that I want to be able to crack or solve this problem, you'll be able to do well in this test. That is sort of how that's the philosophy of construction of this. It's multiple choice and numerical calculation type. Emphasis is on math, of course, but there's a physics, chemistry section as well. We also have English vocabulary and logical reasoning in English, because we believe that this is a strong skill that students need to have, and a little bit of test of just that native innate aptitude through mental ability or analytical ability section is what we have. In terms of similarities and differences, I would say that it's sort of like a SAT exam, maybe. Again, these are all, I don't think, words that people like to think about, but it has the math physics component, which is of really enormous interest to some young people. And in terms of comparison with the JEE, of course, the concepts of math, physics, and chemistry that you need to know for this exam are similar, but the format of the exam is different, and it's, of course, a brand new exam, so you don't have 10 years of paper to work with. We want to help our aspiring applicants. We have some sample questions. We'll upload some sample papers as well. There's been some small changes in the total marks, etc., from last year to this. All of this is available, information is available on our website in our information brochure. And I think my colleagues have done such a organized, phenomenal job in putting together information so it helps young people, and crafting an exam that is so interesting that I'm very proud that we are able to do this, and we've turned it around so quickly. We are in year 2, really looking forward to the type of doors this will open for a population that deserves it.
So if you ever to send a message to the aspiring children, youth want to be here, what are the things that you tell them simple, that this is what, looking at our institution for the examination, these are the few things you keep in mind?
First thing, our applications are open right now, iitmz.ac.in, very easy website for you to remember. Deadline for applications is April 15. Just this morning I was at a school, they calculated and said, "Madam, that is 30 plus days away, but you should apply now because that gives us a chance to review your application and come back to you with anything that is missing from it. Apply immediately." The test is going to be across the world simultaneously on the 9th of June. And once your application process is complete, we will do some webinars and so on to just sort of get you attuned to our exam. So follow up on that for sure. Through the month of May, I can dedicate to that. If you're in the final year of your high school right now, of course, you're eligible to apply, but I want to say as a teacher that you should concentrate on that and make sure that you do very well in that exam, or at least that you learn very well. Now, our campus it's really beautiful. Zanzibar itself is beautiful. Our campus is beautiful. Our data science program, it's the absolutely top-notch one. The curriculum and the pedagogy are so wonderful. We are going to give you the best. So I really hope that you will apply to us quickly. Of course, all these deadlines, etc., are there, but you'll apply to us with that really huge enthusiasm that I want to be part of IIT Zanzibar family, and we will be happy to welcome you. As they say in Swahili, Karibu IIT Zanzibar. Welcome IIT Zanzibar. Asante ni sana.
Asante sana. Thank you very much.